Hey everyone, it's Alexander Robinson. Welcome to the channel, and this is my retro review for Revenge of the Creature. The sequel to Creature from the Black Lagoon came out in 1955, once again directed by Jack Arnold, and once again released in 3D. This movie follows another team of scientists who venture down to the Black Lagoon to try and find the Gill-Man, who we all thought died at the end of Creature from the Black Lagoon, when he was basically gunned down and just stumbled his way into the water and died. Nope, the creature is very much alive in this movie, but these scientists have come prepared to capture him. So they set up explosives all across the Black Lagoon, knock out the Gill-Man, capture him, and take him to an aquarium in Florida where they can study him further. Clearly, nothing can ever go wrong in that scenario. Like I said in the last review, Creature from the Black Lagoon was the last of the essential classic Universal monster movies. It may not be the best, but I really love it for its underwater photography, the design of the Gill-Man. It just has so many iconic moments that I can forgive its one-dimensional characters. And one other thing I didn't mention in my review, just on a personal note, I saw this movie for the first time in 3D. The second time I saw it was actually in Little Europe, not too far away from the actual Black Lagoon on the backlot where they filmed that movie. And I imagine parts of this movie as well, because again, the movie opens in the Black Lagoon. And as for Revenge of the Creature itself, it is very much the same movie as Creature from the Black Lagoon, except done worse. When people think about science fiction movies from the 1950s and think about how cheap and by the numbers they are, featuring lackluster characters, Creature from the Black Lagoon is a movie that does this better than most movies out there. Revenge of the Creature fits all of those descriptions to a T. Everything that isn't great in Creature from the Black Lagoon is done worse this time around. If you thought the characters in the first movie were uninteresting, this movie has no interesting characters whatsoever. There are a few of them, but not only are they dull, but they're also unlikable. They're scientists that capture the Gill-Man and bring him to an aquarium in Florida and basically torture the poor soul. They chain him up at the bottom of an aquarium to where he can't escape, which is smart, but shouldn't have been done in the first place. They electrocute him when he gets too close and they're trying to train him. It's very stressful to watch. It reminds me of in Frankenstein when Fritz is torturing the monster for no reason at all, and you're just hoping that the monster gets his revenge. Which I guess is why the movie's called Revenge of the Creature. So in this movie, more than the last one, you are rooting for the Gill-Man. You want him to escape from the aquarium, you want him to run amok and just kill all the main characters. Which I was on board for throughout a good chunk of this movie. And then he kills a dog, and I'm like, okay, y'all need to go, all of you. Like, I want to see mutually assured destruction from the Gill-Man to the humans and the humans to the Gill-Man. And much like with the last movie, it ends with the Gill-Man supposedly being killed off because we've got one more movie in this trilogy. And the funny thing about me losing sympathy for the Gill-Man when he kills a dog is that once that happens, the movie just kind of shifts. The first half of the movie is about the scientists capturing the Gill-Man, studying him, and seeing if he can be tamed when outside of his element. And then the movie just kind of shifts tones completely into a generic monster on the loose movie, with a lot of unintentionally funny moments where the Gill-Man is just grabbing people, tossing them to the side. It's one of these things where I would love to see a Dead Meat They Talk episode of Revenge of the Creature, just to see what Zoran has the Gill-Man saying. It's almost like it's two movies happening in one, whereas in the original Creature from the Black Lagoon, it all felt consistent. Also, unlike the original Creature from the Black Lagoon, this movie has an overall cheap look to it. The Gill-Man costume is different. It still has some impressive features to it. It's a cool design, but the eyes look even more lifeless. And the sequence that really amplifies how cheap this movie is when they're trying to revive the Gill-Man in the tank, and the Gill-Man is just as lifeless as it can be, and it's just funny. It's funny to watch. And then also there's some terrible ADR where a news reporter is asking the female lead in this movie some questions, and you can tell that reporter is dubbed because his lips do not match the dialogue. It is some straight up Madame Web dubbing. Overall, the movie's not unwatchable. It has some great underwater photography just like the last movie. And when the Gill-Man is actually in the tank, there's some fun moments when they actually feed him and give him a steel lunchbox. It adds some character to the Gill-Man that I found impressive. Even more impressive that suit actor is underwater in a tank full of not just fish, but a couple sharks. So I can imagine that would be terrifying to do, just being underwater in this supposedly heavy costume, being surrounded by sharks. That is pretty impressive, but unfortunately it's not enough to save this movie. I say watch at your own risk. There are things to like about it, and I think if you had a 3D TV and watched this in 3D, it might enhance the experience. And then I have to mention this, considering that the first movie in this trilogy is my favorite movie of all time, but Back to the Future fans will remember this movie as being one of Clint Eastwood's earliest appearances. And in Back to the Future Part 3, when Marty goes back to 1885, and Doc asks him, "Have you ever seen a Western?" He walks out in that ridiculous outfit. Marty goes, "Yeah, I have, Doc." And Clint Eastwood didn't wear anything like this. And there's a poster of Revenge of the Creature next to him. And when Doc asks Marty who Clint Eastwood is, he points to the poster and goes, "That's right, you haven't heard of him yet." And his cameo is just kind of nothing. I've seen this clip out of context, and when he talks about how there were 4 rats in his cage, I thought that meant the creature ate one of them. But yeah, Clint Eastwood makes one of his earliest appearances in this movie, which is otherwise mediocre at best. And there you go, that's my review for Revenge of the Creature. I hope you enjoyed it. Now we have one more movie to go. We are more than halfway through November. I've stretched this series out longer than I had planned to do, but we are at the final movie. The Creature Walks Among Us. As of recording this review, I have not seen The Creature Walks Among Us. So as soon as I cut the camera off, I'm going to start watching the movie and work on that review so it's up by tomorrow. So thank you guys so much for watching this review, and I want to give a special thank you to my subscribers and YouTube members right over here. You guys are the reason why this channel continues to grow every day, and if you want to help to financially support the channel, you can do so via YouTube memberships for as little as $1.99 a month. But until next time, I want to know what you guys think about Revenge of the Creature. If you've seen it, whatever your opinion is, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell button to get notifications. If you want to find me elsewhere on the internet, you can find me on these social media platforms and my theme park and travel channel right here on YouTube. I'll see you guys in the next video, but until then, have a good day and take care of yourselves.